All right. It's the rundown, old school Skype style. Some things, the fact the guy who just went away, Kevin, he's been here for 2 weeks. He's just started talking. Yeah, that guy. So it was a very Michelangelo. It's just me.
I'm going to say every time we Zoom, there's there's some weird new person.
It's like, so the weather's much nicer in Miami. Like, yeah, I was like, by the way, who are you?
A little bit nicer weather you got down there than New York, huh?
That's for sure. Who are you, by the way?
Oh, hi, I'm Kevin. I'm new here. I just started like 2 weeks ago.
Dan, you missed the best Michelangelo small talk before you came in. Michelangelo goes, I think my roommate has corona. And Dave goes, yeah, that's great, whatever. Can you get Dan on the phone? Like, just
Michelangelo, to his credit, like, he's not even trying to be funny. Like, he thinks I give an absolute fuck, or any of us do, about anything he does or his life or his existence at all.
Yeah.
Like Michelangelo, I could care less if you have corona. I don't care if you have like AIDS. I just do the thing.
Michelangelo, have you even been in the office? Michelangelo, have you ever?
Yes, I have been. I was there for about 3 weeks before all this went down.
Where did you sit?
In the equipment room with all of the cameras. Camped out in there.
Oh.
He's like, my name's Kevin. I'm like, how long have you been here?
Right there. They're also the smiley. Put them back on. They're the smiliest kids ever.
This kid acted like this. This kid acted like
he can't stop smiling.
This is Michelangelo, exactly.
He's been here for 2 weeks. Who would put like, we haven't done this. The three oldest guys now at the company. We haven't done this in years, and we got a guy who's 2 weeks old.
He's Michelangelo with a mullet.
He can't stop smiling.
Well, how would you? This is like 2 weeks in, and you're doing this. It's just casually. How's the weather? It's like, who the fuck are you? Anyways, welcome.
Kevin. I gotta move rooms because it's the Frank the Tank show. If you can hear in the background, just keep talking. I'm just gonna move.
All right. Anyways, let's get right into it. NFL playoff weekend, wild card weekend. We still got one game tonight. We'll start with the most talked about game, Cowboys 49ers. They run McCarthy runs that draw up the middle, runs out of time. There's some people saying McCarthy defends it, by the way. What is that noise? What is going on?
It's just, I'm trying to find a room. Let me go in here. I'm trying to find a room. Frank is it's Frank's office. It's Frank's office. It is. Kevin knows. Kevin's always in his studio because it's.
Yeah, remember whatever happened to we were going to put Frank the Tank on an innings limit. Remember that one, Dave? That never happened.
I'm not.
I love the guy. But it's his office.
Well, no, and he's been a revelation. He's not as like crazy as I thought he was going to be. He's together. So anyways, I'm not going to get off. 49ers, they run the play at the end. Comeback fails. Dak Prescott blames it on the refs. McCarthy blames it on the refs. I don't know what they're talking about, because even if the ref put the ball down, he's still going to spike it. That's another like second or two. So clearly the wrong move. Cowboys are out. Dan, you had 10 grand on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. That was a horrible bet. Mike McCarthy getting the Nickelodeon treatment, which he deserves. And the Cowboys are exactly who we thought we are. And you got Stephen A. doing the Lombarda on ESPN. Yeah, so that was the first game, the most talked about game. And then a million fights. Just a million fights in the crowd.
I'm so stupid, and I like deserve it because looking at Mike McCarthy's face, I can say this as someone who struggles with my weight. Like, I think he's too fat to mentally process like a playoff game. Like you could just see it's just moving too slow for him in his brain. Like he just doesn't really know what's going on.
Did you see there's some guy, I don't know who he is. I was reading Dante's blog. And he's like a super fan, and he did like a big rant in his kind of apartment talking about it. And the Cowboys' problem is always the Cowboys' problem is Jerry Jones, and we've talked about this in the past. He wants to be the final say on everything. So any coach who's worth their salt is not going to want to go there because you're going to be a Jerry Jones puppet. So you have, Jason Garrett, who's a puppet. You have Mike McCarthy, who's a puppet. You're never going to get good. You're going to get guys who do that down the stretch. By the way, but Dak defending the call, I don't know. How can you ever defend that decision? It's just bananas.
And then blaming it on the refs afterwards when the fans were throwing shit and they said they were aiming at the ref and he was like, well, then good for them. It's like, you can't ever make that. By the way, I'm looking at these numbers that we got tweeted out yesterday. In the last 25 years, the Jets have more playoff wins, reached the conference championship more, and have the same amount of head coaches. Like, they are the Jets, but somehow they still are America's.
Yeah, because they're always, not always, but a lot of years they're on the fringe of a playoff team. The Jets are out after week 4.
Well, but also those years their fringes were like when the NFC East was like fucking dumpster fire. Like, they really haven't gone.
Yeah, Kevin's right. Like the Cowboys have not been to the NFC Championship game in like 30 years or whatever.
No, I don't. Right, but there is a big difference, as you saw this weekend, with teams who can get smoked in the first round in our playoff team versus teams that can compete for a division championship. You have a host of teams that just didn't belong, and we'll get right into a team that didn't. The Steelers lost by 1,000 to the Chiefs, which I knew that was obvious. Big Ben's last game. It did provide very good live stream moments with Jerry, and then obviously Hank with thinking. By the way, the only thing about Hank, that it's not even so much, and if you didn't see it, Hank bet first touchdown. He thought JJ Watt. He took Derek Watt. That's the stupidest bet of all time.
I love it.
Come on now.
The bet. TJ fucking Watt.
TJ Watt first touchdown scorer.
No way! You fucking asshole!
You did it.
You genius.
Did you really do it?
Fuck
yes!
Yes!
How much was it? How much was it?
Tweet the bet slip,
like 25 to win $3,000.
Oh shit! Tweet it, Hank.
Really?
Wait, that's Derek Watt, the fullback.
Oh, it is?
No! He
because
so
if you bet JJ Watt, it should have been
TJ Watt.
The odds should have been fucking astronomical.
He took the worst odds bet of all time.
What would honestly the odds for JJ Watt first touchdown be?
I would say 100,000 to 1 or something.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah,
It'd be crazy.
that's why they're offering.
Yeah, like a defensive player scores like a great defensive player maybe scores on the line, maybe scores 2 touchdowns in their career.
Yeah. If we knew what we were doing at Penn, the second that bet's placed and they see that video, there's a sucker stamp on Hank's head. Like, let's just feed him impossible lines. That's probably the worst bet that's ever been placed.
He thought he was going to win $3,000. $3,000. That should have been like $3 million.
That for $25. That's why they don't offer it. That you should probably win at least 50,000.
Yes, and the best part about it is, of course, with everything with Barstool, people are like, that was an act, that was planned. It's
how
like,
can you plan that?
How could you plan that? TJ Watt scored touchdown, and then people are like, how did I not say something to him when he showed me the thing? Dave, I think you back me up. If someone shows you a bet, like your eyes go to the numbers. Like totally. I just wanted to see how much money he won.
And to be honest, I don't even know who Derek Watt is, if we're being honest. Like, that's not a guy that, like, I'm aware of who that is. So if you see Watt and Steelers, right. But if you see Watt and Steelers, third game, Bengals-Raiders, one of the better games of the weekend. You get the errant whistle, and they get David Carr with David Carr with a Derek. Is it Derek?
Derek. But you did it all game too. It doesn't, like, that's one of those ones that, like, you're close to.
It really doesn't
matter.
Well,
I mean, we know who we're talking about. One of them was the other guy on Houston and Fresno, and this is the other guy. So whatever. Terrible last drive. The errant whistle, I don't think it mattered. A good win for the Bengals. I don't know, but people blowing that whistle up, other than that guy Booger or whatever his name, everyone's saying they're a terrible crew. That is a touchdown. That whistle had nothing to do with that play.
It had nothing to do with the play, but the rule is, and they're like, 2 things can be true at the same time. One is it had nothing to do with the play, and 2, like, by the letter of the law, it shouldn't have counted. And the fact the NFL is telling us that it happened after the catch, it's like we all saw it. We know when it happened. It happened right before the catch. It didn't matter. It did not affect the play.
Agreed.
But don't tell us that it happened after.
But weirdly, I agree. Don't. And that's Goodell's MO. Like, he'll tell you it's sunny when it's raining. But as somebody who has no dog in this fight, I would rather those guys not enforce the rule, because that would have been 1,000 times more egregious.
Yes. That would have, if it had gone the other way, if they had said, oh, the whistle, inadvertent whistle, now we basically take that off the board, it would have been fucking like riots in Cincinnati, right. And rightfully so.
So then what do you do if you're the refs? Because you're at a rock and a hard place. You know it happened. You know it had nothing to do with the play. If you go by the letter of law, it's way worse. So they put themselves, my shoulders, for Kevin, for you who like Mr. Non-athletic, my shoulder hurts doing this. Literally, like sharp pains. Final game
goes out.
Yeah, it should. Pats, Bills. Yeah. Well, if we're going to get into it, I think this sparked why we're doing this rundown. And I get it, Kevin. You're the peanut gallery. Like, what I said is true. The Patriots have owned you for 2 decades, and they got smoked. So you come in, but you try to. If I'm not mistaken, you tried to compare it to the 18-0 season loss and the loss.
No. I'm saying they're very
Eagles.
different. They're very different, but it's like the first time that the Pats have gone through something like that.
No.
Where,
well, what do you say about that? What the fact? I gave you factual evidence. Why?
No, that 2010 game is not comparable at all to right now, because they're a very different franchise in the last 12 years.
No, but Kevin, everybody said that then. Everybody said the same thing then. We are already a dynasty, and they said it was done. But Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady yet. Everyone said then it was done, and it wasn't. And that wild card game.
It's much different to have Tom Brady still in your franchise, whether he became the immortal Tom Brady or the Tom Brady in the middle of his career versus Mac Jones. It's different when listen, the reason I even said it was because of your reaction. You being like, we're the Jets, we're never gonna win another title in my lifetime.
I was upset. I was upset.
I know.
Okay, emergency press conference, halftime, Patriots were down. I don't even know. I'm taping this. I think it's like 20-0. Bills are going in. I'm embarrassed. Everybody from Belichick all the way down should be embarrassed. In the last 20 years, the most disgusting effort I've ever seen from the Patriots. They didn't even show up. They didn't even fucking try. Their defense isn't trying. Their offense isn't fucking trying. Maybe Mac Jones is trying, but they all suck. And we're the fucking New York Jets now. We're the New York fucking Jets. So
that's why fine. I was like, I've never seen Dave this.
No. Because we don't know what Mac Jones was the only bright spot in that game. The only bright spot. I thought he
wasn't that good.
And
he was pretty good, Dan. He was pretty good,
Dan.
Dan, when you lose him by 100 and you got guys dropping balls, Dan, you haven't been in a playoff game in 100 years. The two of you hasn't. Listen,
Mac Jones was your bright spot, and the Belichick boys were getting their doors blown off. That's not a good thing either.
But that was what happened to them against the Ravens in 2010.
It's a very different situation for you guys as fans, is what I'm saying. When that Ravens game happened, there were 2 things that are very different. One, you still had Tom Brady, even though he hadn't become the immortal Tom Brady.
But you don't know what we don't have.
He's still Tom Brady. But what I'm secondly saying is that was by now you guys are put it this way, every fan would have traded their fandom to become a Pats fan like that in the past few years. And now it's not like that anymore. Because of what transpired in the last 12 years since the game you were pointing out, things are very different around the league.
No. But what you just said, that trade people would not have made in 2010. People would have been, I'm not trading with the Patriots. They're done. That same feeling.
That's why I'm saying it's different now.
No, they wouldn't. They would have been like, they're done. I'm not trading my fandom in 2010 unless you don't get credit for the past.
We were all stupid and said that, but then Tom Brady became what Tom Brady is. If you think that Mac Jones,
I do.
All right, if you think, I know, and that's where we're going to disagree on this. I just don't think Mac Jones is going to be that guy. I do think Belichick is eventually going to. He's a 70-year-old man. He's not in his prime anymore. You don't see him get blown out like that in the playoffs.
But he did get blown out in the playoffs. He did.
Not like this. I mean, this was
no.
dude.
The Ravens,
For a Belichick
the
team
Ravens
to never
scored
give
on
up
the first play of the game. They got Ray Rice, who I heard
I
heard the
Bills
way.
didn't
By the way,
kick the
who's
field
becoming
goal. They
friends with
didn't
Ray
punt.
Rice?
They didn't
I heard
fumble.
Aviva Stool account.
Interception. It was a perfect game.
Aviva Stool account wanted to post a picture with like Ray Rice. It's like, what are you guys crazy?
That's outside. Wait, hold on. Let me hop in real quick. One, Mac Jones, that if he had played a perfect game on Saturday night, the
They lose
Patriots
by
still
30.
wouldn't have won. Right.
Correct.
But he did not play great. He played okay for a rookie in his first playoff game. I'll
He
judge
played
it
pretty
that
good.
way. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, Tom Brady wanted to beat the Bills.
No one would have. The way the Bills
They scored every
tortured
time.
Defense, yes. Yeah. But
Which is
do you
also the
understand what
bigger
Kevin's
problem here. I
saying?
feel like,
No,
forget
but
about
the-
Mac. Aren't you more worried about that?
I'm 100%, but I'm believing Belichick's going to reorganize this whole. Their defense is
Okay.
old, slow, and gone. But Mac Jones, as rookie, somebody tweeted, I don't even know who I redid. The Patriots, including myself, got our hopes up as the season went along because they won the win streak. This is never supposed to be like Patriots Super Bowl. They have a rookie quarterback who they hit the lottery with, and now they're going to have to build around him. If you think Belichick's as good as I do, they will be back. Yes,
Okay.
after the game, I was depressed because I thought we could win the Super Bowl and we lost by 100. I was mad, embarrassed, and upset.
Well, you just said you weren't going to win the Super Bowl this year. But you said you
No.
thought you were gonna.
I said the arc changed during the course of the season. Like they went on that win streak. I'm like, wait a minute, what do we got here?
I agree with that. I do think the Patriots they overachieved this year, so you can look at it that way. My other question for you, though, Dave, Belichick's 70. That's different than it was 10 years ago. Like, does that matter at all? I'm just wondering.
Brady and having
I'm not
very
an
different.
ageist. I'm not an ageist. I don't know.
But I was watching that game.
differences.
Yeah, if you're 70 and you're standing in 5-degree weather and you get your shit kicked in, I would have just been like, I'm done. I'm
Listen,
done.
Get out of here.
Listen,
Yeah.
70,
And listen, no
70
matter what,
is-
the last
70 is the new
12
50.
years.
It is.
The last 12 years, you guys have made your entire identities, personalities, and personas the Patriots. That way, it wasn't that way in 2010. So you've been like, there's been that much more cockiness, that much more arrogance, and then you get your doors blown the fuck off. You just have never been embarrassed like that.
No, by 2000,
not on that level, not since you made
yes,
the
2010.
Patriots your life.
Kevin, you have the facts wrong. By 2010, I was pretty well into Patriot days.
No, you were not.
Yes, I was. Yes, I
no,
was.
you were absolutely
Yes,
were not.
We already had 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but
Yes,
it was
you
also
were
like,
deflated. It wasn't
Yeah.
Sell. It wasn't to hate us because they ain't us. You had 3 Super Bowls, but you were in the middle of a 10-year drought.
Yeah, but that looked like the end of it. They were up, they were down, they were around. We lost to the Jets in that game in the when they had the best record.
Right. And I specifically remember thinking when people asked me about that moment, I'm like, yeah, it wasn't the same though, because Barstool wasn't Barstool and Dave wasn't what he was with the Patriots back then. It was totally different as far as the fans. Yeah,
I'd have to go back and look at
if you-
2010. I'll go back and look at the archives.
Go ahead. I'm not saying obviously you were a Patriots fan, but there was no clown nose. There was no they hate us because they ain't us. There was
But
no
there was
Deflategate.
always something with the Patriots. When was Spygate?
that was the first one, right? That was
What year was
That was-
Spygate?
yeah. Like,
So then what are we
2000
talking about?
But it wasn't the
That
same
was-
level.
No, that was
12 more years of that developing.
No. Spygate, people are saying everything the Patriots did not count.
But wait,
Right,
Dave, the
12
classic
more
rundown.
years of that, and 3 more Super Bowls. When
But
you
it
broke
kept
every
building because
record,
everything, it turned into
undeniable.
Spygate. It was always a gate with us. Spygate, Deflategate, something
Sure,
gate.
and
I was
but-
fighting
and you know
the
what?
entire
And
time.
and then in that 12-year period we're talking about, everybody bent the knee except for like 2 idiots. I gave up. I was like, I'm not gonna argue.
When did I attack Marshall Faulk? What year was that at the Super Bowl? I don't even remember.
That was after Deflategate. That was after everything. So no, Dave, you got
Yeah, you weren't
what
going to
you're
Super Bowls or
saying-
Spygate. That was early 2000s.
No. What you're saying is right, Dave. That they always had something, but you got your swagger back when you beat the Seahawks. That's the classic
Seahawks
rundown.
restarted
Yeah, I
Nice.
got my swagger back. I know,
Yes.
but
That was your swagger
Seahawks
coming
then
back.
28-3.
no, but 2010 and last night in the other game, the same amount of people were like, Patriots are dead forever.
That may be true, but the way that Patriots fans have developed over that 12-year period, like it was more ridiculous to say that then with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in their prime,
But nobody knew
and that was
yet.
proven right.
But nobody was accepting them as them yet. The rebirth of that dynasty, nobody saw coming.
And, that is true, but I'm saying it looked that it having Brady and Belichick in their prime, even though it didn't prove out immediately, is a much better spot than
so Kevin, we may come back. Says you. He's a one draft pick. Right, that one versus six. There's only one way to tell. I think Mac Jones early is as good as Brady.
That will be. We'll wait and see, and we'll find out. What we know for a fact is that in that time period, you guys as a fan base changed. You had more bandwagon, more swagger, more arrogance. You became like the face of the Patriots versus Goodell, Hitler. All that shit is a very different you.
That's after. I think during 3 Super Bowls, I think it was pretty arrogant. Well, look,
you have to say, Dave,
you weren't. You were not even close. You were not even close. As arrogant as you are now.
That's the beauty of this business. We have a fucking catalog of shit.
You were always an arrogant, cocky asshole, but not even close to
even
after.
When did McGillicuddy start with those signs?
I think it was after Seahawks. Maybe not.
No.
Maybe.
No, he wasn't. It wasn't. It was before.
I mean, he's been going for fucking ever.
All right, but as long as McGillicuddy's aware, if we're aware of McGillicuddy, you can't say anything changed. You can't.
But I do think.
Why is that the barometer? Why is it not you?
No,
why are we not using you as the barometer?
No. When McGillicuddy's in full throat, so am I, and you know that's a fact. We hold.
And you know what happened? McGillicuddy just fucked
down the street.
It's worse than McGillicuddy. He went nowhere, and here you are, more and more, bigger and bigger, louder and louder.
We haven't won in a while.
Follow you.
Hey, new guy Kevin, find the first McGillicuddy signing. That'll answer it. You know that.
That's not going to answer it.
That does answer it.
That's not the answer.
That does answer it.
No, it doesn't.
You admit that answers it.
No, you answer it. No, you are the answer.
I can't remember. I'm my dad. I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
I know, and I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I've been watching this. Who would know better than me?
McGillicuddy's around. Why would McGillicuddy bother you then?
It's always bothered me, but it's more. It's
Dan, you know I'm right.
Super Bowl.
If McGillicuddy is around,
he's probably
here. You know what? Here it is. Let me tell you this, Dan. Let me tell you this, and you'll agree with this, Dan. The beginning of the new version of Dave is Arizona's cigar. Big Cat, what do you got?
Yes.
That one is the beginning of a whole new dynasty and a whole.
I get that, but that you can't get there without point A. Find McGillicuddy.
You're listen.
I guarantee
Dave,
you.
The last 3 Super Bowls, the way you guys did it, the Seahawks like improbable interception, the 28-3 comeback, the deflate gate, like that, you guys became almost Superman. Like it was like there's nothing you can do.
He silenced everybody.
I'm not arguing. It went from a dynasty to the greatest run in the history of sports. I get
that. And that is the difference here. That I'm saying there was nobody left, and maybe Max Kelly.
No.
Everybody like me was like, yes, they are the greatest.
Changing the argument. I'm saying
no, I'm not.
The Patriots were as dead in people's eyes after that Ravens wildcard game as they are now. Now you're saying, well, we didn't know what Belichick and Brady would do. Nobody did back then. And I don't know what Mac Jones is going to do.
Yes, you guys were
here are my eliminated playoff power rankings. Patriots 1, Cowboys 2, Raiders 3, Eagles 4, Steelers 5. Nobody can disagree with that. You'd rather be the Patriots.
Wait, say it again.
Patriots 1. Yep. Cowboys 2, Raiders 3, Eagles 4, Steelers 5.
Eagles have 3 first-round picks.
They have no quarterback.
Where are the Chargers?
Well, they're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd probably rather be the Chargers than they're already in the playoffs.
But you're changing this. I mean, this is. I can't put them in the playoffs.
Your point about being dead at the same time in the same way is true, except the debt, like you're talking about an entirely different type of team and fan base.
But you didn't know that.
What about the Seahawks? What do you kept Russell Wilson?
Dan, you're just changing the rules. All right.
What about the Browns? They were injured this year.
They're
Ravens?
Dead. Leo, Star Wars, we'll move on. And Dan, that's dishonest by you because you know the McGillicuddy. And by the way, if I'm wrong,
McGillicuddy is not the fucking barometer. Bruins wins.
If McGillicuddy wins, it's all entertained together. It's not just one sport. We all start winning. If McGillicuddy's after, I'll acknowledge I'm wrong.
I'm not disputing. I think he probably McGillicuddy's like around 2013.
Yes.
If I had to guess, I don't know. Whatever.
So then I'd be wrong.
It says
What
the
year did you win?
first McGillicuddy sign was in like
Who's
2015.
talking?
Kevin.
It's not even 50.
No,
It's
new
but
guy
if that's
Kevin.
the,
Wait, when
if that's
is
the
it?
first he can find, it was probably like
2015.
13 during DevNet. So you're fucking wrong.
We're on to Leo's Star Wars
You just
rumor.
so admit you were wrong. You just said you
No,
admit you're wrong.
you
Look at
were-
the smirk. Look at the smirk. You know it. You get the smirk. Yes, smirk,
You're so
motherfucker,
bad.
smirk. You
First
know
of
it.
all,
You
No.
know it.
I don't even
Oh,
know
you-
who that
you
person
t-
is.
You tied yourself to McGillicuddy here, Dave.
No, I didn't.
You know
because
you
of
did. You
accepted
know
the
you
deal.
just did. You tied yourself to McGillicuddy and the new kid. The new kid was
I
like,
haven't-
yeah,
I
you
haven't tied myself
all
to
your
that
marbles
kid.
in that guy's
I don't
fucking
know who
pie.
that kid is, and
Exactly. I can't believe you
rewind
fucking
the
gave
tape.
up that. You're
Nobody
nuts.
accepted McGillicuddy as the answer. So if that is true, it doesn't count. Leo,
Show your face
You
again, Kevin.
fucking-
Smiley guy.
You
Show
are
it.
do
so
we have
wrong.
ads
Look at
on
it.
this show?
Look at him. He can't
That
stop
fucking
smiling.
face.
He's
Get him off. By the way, kid, anybody who has their sideburns that high is a psychopath. Sports clips pronounced sports
Change
clips.
your face.
No S on sport. Got a cowlick, patchy beard, finally want to grow out that mullet, or maybe you just need a style that works every day, whatever you need, go to Sport Clips Haircuts. This isn't your grandma's hair, please. Sport Clip stylists are experts in men's hair. Cutting men's hair can be harder than women's hair, and Sport Clip stylists are specifically trained to cut men's hair. They know the tips and tricks for making sure guys get the best cut to suit their facial shape, hair texture, and lifestyle. Remember, you can go to grandma's for the holidays, but not when she cuts her hair. Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair. Send new guy there and grow out his sideburns. Put that back up. Put your face back up.
Turn your head
Turn.
sideways.
What is that?
That you
He's
can't
got
do
like
that.
Wait,
He's got like
where
the
are your
Patrick
sideburns?
It's psycho.
I
That's
just got
a
a
psycho
haircut. I
haircut.
don't know.
Go
It's
to
like the
Sport
Patrick
Clips.
Showed me,
Mahomes
let me
color,
see.
right, Dan? With
This is
no
crazy.
sideburns.
That's crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Can't do this. Can't have that.
He's got like a mullet.
No, I
Yeah, and
He's got no.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like Patrick Kane, right? But instead of the racing
Yeah,
stripes,
but
he just
he-
has no.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
he-
intentional though.
He did that as like a playoff thing. Like, I know I look ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
this poor bastard. He was not
Well,
expecting this.
just throw that in. That was
He was
crazy.
not
Fazoli's
expecting
fault.
this.
That's Fazoli's. Kevin Fazoli fucking. He killed you. Why isn't
Right
he?
to the fire.
like,
I don't.
this
This
is the-
guy's a good-looking guy, but it's you got to do something with those sideburns. All right, Leo.
good
By the
Oh,
way,
okay.
that was the point. All I was trying to say is when you said that you were that the Patriots weren't like who they were, that is my point. You guys became that, and since then is the first time you've been embarrassed. That is my point. Who you were in 2010 was not the big old bad Patriots in the same way, and so getting your doors blown off since then is the difference here.
No, I disagree. I think when you win 3 Super Bowls, you're looked at as like.
But you
Pretty
looked at it
big
as
and
great,
fast.
but there were still people talking about the Steelers and who has more.
Yeah, but
and Montana.
obviously we've gone through a transition. The quarterback's gone. That's a big deal. But we have a great new quarterback.
Very big. All of these things add up to I think the bandwagon Patriots fan being like, oh fuck, we get
No,
embarrassed now.
if we lost that game with Ben Roethlisberger as a quarterback, I don't know. It's a totally. We have the most important piece, and I still believe that. I don't know what happened on defense. That was a joke. And the Bills are great. I give them credit. Josh Allen, credit to me. I was the first one. Basically, you say he's great. He is great. Let's move on. Leo
Vikings,
Star.
Dave. Vikings. Where are they in your list?
Come on, Dan. Leo Star Wars rumor. There's a rumor floating. It's now been debunked that Leo took his, I think, current girlfriend to rent it out Star Wars and had a lightsaber. And people liked it. Actually, most people were like on his side, but it turned out fake. So I guess the question is, if it were true, do you like the first date?
Wait, did he? How? I didn't see that it got debunked. He said it or what?
Well, no, the website that put it out has openly be like, we just made that up. It stemmed from the Jonah Hill, that he made Jonah Hill watch Mandalorian, which is great. By the way, I'm taking the nerd crew.
You're doing it?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
doing
gonna
it.
go?
List
Yeah.
them. List them. Robbie, Clem.
Robbie, Clem, Frank's trying to bully his way into it.
Chris.
Yeah, Robbie, Clem, Chaps,
Yep.
I think is
Jeff,
You got to take Chris Castellani, right?
and Castellani. There it is.
and
I
Jeff
believe.
D'Lo. And
And Jeff D'Lo. Yeah, I'm not sure
and
about
you're not
Chaps.
gonna-
May have threw on there.
You're gonna take Jeff and not Kenjack?
Kenjack hasn't been on the list anywhere. I don't even know if I recognize Kenjack walking down the street. I've said like 3 words to him.
What
That's
about
tough to
wait?
follow those guys.
I didn't create the list. If he's on the list, he's on the list.
Dave, you have like a big decision to make here.
Why? Oh,
Like,
Frank.
Frank changes the entire
Whole
dynamic.
You're doing songs and tank stuff, and he can't walk around the park. It's gonna be a whole thing.
I think you got to bring him for a day. I think Frank comes in maybe.
Wait, hang on.
Maybe for a day.
Frank is in. I've never even heard him talk about this stuff.
He said he'd
Star
wear.
Wars.
Yeah,
Dude,
He looks like a Star Wars guy.
Remember that Frank the Tank? Remember him at his old job at the court? He was wearing a Darth Vader mask. They had like dress up day. It was like Halloween. He was sitting behind the fucking the stenograph thing. And
I think guys like Frank
Star
and
Wars,
Doug's is definitely a Star Wars guy.
yeah,
a lot of people are That's why with this Leo thing, it's like I think if you're a Star Wars person, it's fucking awesome, and if you're not, it probably is like this is a little weird, dude. But I think Leo just wants to do this kind of. It's so
renting out a movie theater. Renting out a movie theater for a date's awesome. Awesome movie.
Yeah.
It's
awesome.
like who did the thing?
It's not that
who rented
hard to do.
Wait, Derek Rose rented it. Well, that's different because he plays for Knicks. But who rented out like Dodger Stadium recently?
I feel like that's just a movie.
Drake had dinner with LeBron's teammate, whatever.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
There's a couple.
You should do some of that shit, Dave.
Rent out a theater.
I
went. I saw.
Theater, I think is actually not that hard to do. You should rent out like Fenway or some shit.
I think that's pretty expensive. What do you do? Just sit there.
Take BP. Go fucking Oppo.
Take the
I retired. No, we'll go to Star Wars. We're gonna go to Star Wars.
That's gonna be an all-time video. All-time video.
I told them they got to get I'm not going through the ticket thing again. So they got to get the tickets and the lightning pass, and then we'll do it. There's a couple more like pop culture things, which I'm sure have been talked about on the rundown, but not with this crew. I don't think. This video I watched 1,000 times last week, and it's the Madonna, Mayweather, AB, Kanye's new girlfriend. I don't know what they're doing. They're sitting on a couch just vibing, and it's just a wild video. Madonna, like really deep in her groove. Mayweather looks like who's the guy like Glass Joe and Tyson, like running next to the bike, like
he looks
and,
like
and
Mac.
Mike Tyson. Yeah, and Mac. I mean, just a crazy crew. Dan, are you trying to freight Frozen?
No. Someone just sent me a tweet. Fuck you, Patrick McGillicuddy. December 8th, 2013.
You guys didn't agree to that. Nobody agreed to anything. Nobody agreed to. So what did they win in 2013?
Well,
McGillicuddy can be Red Sox. It can be Celtics. I mean, like McGillicuddy's all over the map. He's not a Patriot. You are the barometer for the Patriots, not Patrick McGillicuddy.
I'm gonna fucking do some research.
As a matter of fact, this is all the curse of McGillicuddy because he got too old and too big for his britches and was like, I think he wanted.
He wouldn't like he wouldn't fucking do anything with us. I remember
this video is like, imagine being in this room, how out of place you'd feel. Just every person is more famous than the next.
How about Madonna being, like 65 and clearly like on Molly and hugging everybody and vibing. And then there's a new one that came out after that in the studio with The Game. And he's like filming it and they're all dancing to Kanye's new song, which is all about like his divorce and getting his kids and shit. And they're all like vibing to that. It's a weird scene. It's
also,
a weird crew.
Kanye definitely looked like he was about to fuck in front of everyone. Like they were kind of like
that's the next.
Yeah, there's certain videos though that look so miserable, and it's like it doesn't matter how famous they're like all crazy people like in one room. I mean, that looked awful, like awful.
Like what conversations are happening between anybody there?
None.
Like, is
and how's A
talking to fucking Madonna?
AB since he ran off the field, there's like 10 of them. He's everywhere at once, everywhere.
Yeah.
The MGK Megan Fox engagement, which looked like it was from The Bachelor and Drinking Blood. I'm kind of over these two, to be honest. And I like MGK.
Yeah, no, they're They're the most in-your-face couple out there.
What was up with that video? He looked like a ref, and it looked like it was literally filmed on The Bachelor.
Yeah, no, I think he just set up his phone so that he could post it. But he had that Foot Locker employee look going. And then of course, she talks about drinking the blood. Like,
Yeah, that's very on brand. The ring.
They're just new age Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie.
Oh, good,
Remember,
good.
That shit was
Yeah.
like, get out of here.
If we were doing that show, what's the show where the guy like puked because he had to mention our name? On ESPN, Around the Horn. Blackstone.
yes.
Blackstone. He threw up. He's like, I can't believe I got to say Barstool. Blah. You'd get a point up, Dan, for that comparison. That's what I was thinking. Britney Spears, this is funny. So Britney Spears, I guess, what's her little sister's name? Jamie Lynn. So apparently she's banned from seeing her kids, or because she had a scissors or a sword around Britney Spears' kids. Fine, I wasn't going to put it on the rundown. But then I saw the teaser of old colleague Alex from Call Her Daddy. And she has, first of all, I saw it and didn't even know who it was, Jamie Lynn. I thought it was one of the, who's the Simpsons? I thought it was one of the Simpsons.
Ashley Simpson?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was very funny that Alex Cooper is now like getting these sit down, like read the text.
Well, that
read
chick,
the text.
Jamie Lynn has a book coming out. That's why this is all coming out. So she's doing the media tour. So I'm sure if you're going to try to sell a book to chicks like that, Call Her Daddy is the spot.
I saw you,
right?
I saw you tweet at Britney trying to get her on your show.
I mean, it's only fair to hear Britney's side now. So
Jersey Jerry freed Britney. Jersey Jerry freed Britney.
What does that mean? Was he in the crowd wearing a Free Britney shirt?
No, he like, we were sitting one day and we were talking about Britney. He's like, yeah, no, I freed her. I'm like, what? He's like, well, look at my Instagram. I challenged, what's her dad's name?
Jamie,
yeah. He's like, I challenged Jamie to a fight, and then the next day she got freed.
It's a shame what's going on with Britney Spears. She's a prisoner underneath the conservatorship from her father, Jamie Spears. It's sad to see, it's sad to watch the documentaries. I watch the hashtags on the internet. Hashtag Free Britney. Unfortunately, that's not going to get this done here. I know one thing that will get this done, though. One thing that will free Britney. I challenge Jamie Spears to a celebrity boxing match. That's right, one-on-one. I'm going to crumple this motherfucker. And after I'm done crumpling him, maybe then Britney will be free.
I don't know. I love Jerry, and I don't know if this is a positive or negative for him. But if you told me he was one of the people in the crowd wearing a Free Britney shirt, not on purpose, like not ironically, I would believe that.
Yes.
Also,
absolutely.
Like, he's one of these people, he actually believes that. Like, that he put up that Instagram, and that was why it happened. 100% Jersey Jerry did it.
I don't know if we got it on Stool Scenes, but he told Dave and I a story about how he says that Kendrick Perkins tried to cancel him. And it was just basically Kendrick Perkins talked shit about the Steelers, and then Jersey Jerry showed up to a card signing and like confronted him. And like Kendrick Perkins like, you're psycho, dude. Get away from me. And he's like, yeah, Kendrick Perkins tried to cancel me.
I will give this shout out to Steeler fans, and Jerry sort of made me not hate him. The way they wave those towels is so endearing. Like, Jerry looked like he was going to break his wrist on that TJ Watt touchdown. And then Watt goes to like 3 people in the front. It's like a dog as happy as they can be in their life with the towels.
Yeah.
Like when TJ Watt scored that, the 3 guys in the front, they didn't know what to do because they wanted to like hug him, but they had to wave the towels like instinctually a million miles per hour. It's great.
I moneyline bet the Steelers last night, Dave, because I sat next to Jerry all day, and he just every like 5 minutes, people were just sending him pump up videos. So like I watched every highlight.
How was he like? How was he when it got real out of hand? When they scored like 28 points in like 4 minutes? What was he just dead?
To Jerry's credit, he's got an incredible ability. He just fucking like he just clicks. He's just like, all right, it's over. Like I'm out. He's like, the classic clip of like
dishes, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, well, he gets mad, but then he'll just be like, no, that was a close loss. When they get the ass kicked, he'll be like the classic clip of him just being like, "All right, Frank, grab your computer, we're out,"
Correct.
and he just like walks out.
And
Like,
I tweeted that the next day. That's why I was furious in real time, because I thought the Patriots could win the Super Bowl. I did. But when you lose like that, or how the Steelers did, you don't lose. Once you're over, it's like, all right, we're not even close. The losses, whether it be the giant helmet, those like, wait a minute. But obviously the Patriots have gone both ways. Those are the ones when you're like, we could have won that. This could have been our year. Clearly not the Patriots year, not the Steelers year.
Feidelberg, Kevin, I think it was maybe 35-7.
He was delusional.
He was actually like,
I said it to him at one point. I go, "You're still paying attention?"
Yeah. He was like kind of sitting up in his seat because I left.
Yeah, that was
like,
crazy.
Right at the start of the fourth, but like up until halfway through the third, he was like, "Okay,
Crazy.
like
Here we go." That was crazy. Even I know I'm rational. Like I was watching, like it didn't matter. We couldn't stop.
What?
They wanted to score 9. No, we got one. I think it was like we threw an interception. And he was like, "Oh, it's over." It's like it's been over forever.
It's over.
Yeah.
Last one, late ad. Michael Jackson impersonator choked out an Eagles fan in Vegas. He may be the worst celebrity, like those boardwalk guys, to get put. And by the way, I think we've talked about it. First of all, the Eagle fan looked borderline homeless. That just may be an Eagles fan, but there's nothing worse when you are in a fight and you see somebody go to an MMA move. Like he flipped the leg over.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got the wrong guy. And a Michael Jackson, probably the worst. I'd rather have a cartoon full than MJ.
That was like a fake mask. I don't even think it was a Michael Jackson mask. That was a cross-face crippler in real life. I don't think I've ever fucking seen that.
Yeah, it was...
that's a better attraction than MJ. It should be like he fights people in the streets. I'd watch that. And then that the Eagles fan at the end was like,
like it's ready for another round. I had two things from it. One is all-time shirt. Just like an old school insult shirt. It was
Kelly
two
Green,
Eagles fans at a urinal pissing, and then a Cowboys fan shitting at the urinal. It was like "can't fix stupid" or something like that. Sure. And then I was wondering, do you think in a street fight like that, do you like MJ? Does he let him tap? Like if he taps, do you let up?
I think that's universal. I think you tap if you learn MMA. That's a code. So it's like if you've gone through the trouble of learning it, part of that code is if someone taps, it's over.
And the people, I'm watching the audience or whatever.
Yeah. Every time I'm watching it and someone gives up.
And how about the cameraman got like obscenely close?
Yes.
We've never got that close of a shot in a street fight ever. He was right there.
But when you're watching it and you see him give up his neck, you're just like, bro, tap.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
tap.
I said it out loud. I go, oh, he sunk it in. Like, and I don't know anything about MMA, but if you're watching MMA, that's what it sunk in. I say, oh, it sunk in. And I know enough. The tap's about to happen. That's it. That's this rundown. I'm down for these occasionally. They're remote ones. I don't know what
but every now and then.
Yeah. All right.
We'll do it next Monday.
We only had one ad, correct? By the way, the fact that the only man left standing is Che is tough. Like Eagles gone, Patriots gone, Steelers gone, Che.
Tough. There was almost a homicide yesterday in the gambling. Dave. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it, but you're winning everything.
No.
Yeah.
Cowboys future.
Yeah. Happy Dan. I'm happy for you. Happy Dan and happy Elliott.
What happened? What did
he wins everything. He needed a yard. He was going to get the yard.
No, but Dave, they were switching. I've never seen it before. They were switching.
No, I saw it. I saw the whole thing.
Steven had a big prop parlay that I bet, and then I sat down next to him, and he was like, "This line is so wrong," so I bet even more on it. And it was 48.5 yards for Keyshawn Vaughn. He got his 49th yard. PFT and Che started cheering. The next play, he loses 4 yards, and then he didn't get another carry for like almost a full quarter. So we were just sitting there like, is he going to get another carry? He did. He only ended up with like 52 yards. It wasn't like he blew it out.
But you win every bet.
Dave's mad at me because
I'm not mad. I'm very happy for you. Dan and
You
Elliot.
sound ecstatic.
No,
You
Dan
sound
and
like
Elio.
you're
Dan and Elio are the two hottest gamblers in the world. Every morning I wake up, Elio, did you take it? Did you take it? Did you take it? So good for them.
Illinois Purdue just now that hit overtime, so I got the over.
All right, there it is. That's an old school rundown. All right, see you.
So you admit you were wrong, right?
No, I'm going to do research.
Okay.